Welcome back into the Sports Source, this segment of our program brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. When you look at the companies, and I mentioned this earlier, the companies I like to bring on the show, they're so often locally owned, family-owned business, and that's the case with Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Since 1971, they've been here in East Tennessee. The Haynes family and their team simply can't be beat in East Tennessee in terms of pest control. I use them. You should use them for your business, for your home, whatever. Protect your place, protect your valuables, protect your family. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right, I want to welcome a couple of pests here. We have analyst Bob Hodge.
Not very controllable either.
Analyst Bob Hodge and analyst Ryan Callahan down there. Thanks to both of you. You're right, I can't control either of you. Again, we have said time and again that you're going to hit bumps in the road. It's amazing to me that people apparently expected an undefeated season or an undefeated SEC season based on the reaction. But anyway, we've been saying that, but let me show you why it's not time to panic, all right? There we go. That's right. Let the music go a little bit there. It's no time to panic, baby. Losing in February? Oh, it happens everywhere. To the best of them, so don't freak out. Let's take a look at the numbers. Over the past 3 years, there you go. What we got? Perfection not needed. The last 3 years, there are your 12 Final Four teams, okay? I've got listed their record entering the NCAA tournament, and then over there on the right are their records in their last 10 regular season games. Yeah, perfection is not needed. You see, in 2016, you had 3 teams reach the Final Four that were 6-4 each in their last 10 games. You've had teams that got in there 7-3. In fact, the average run of those 12 teams over the last 10 games of the regular season, 7-3. 7-3. Right now, in your last 10 games, you are 4-2. Not your last 10 games, but the last 10 games of the season. You got 4 more to play. You are 4-2. But you look down there, you got teams with 10 losses, teams with 13 losses, 7-6, 5-5, 7-6, 7-7, 4. It happens. Take a look there at 2017 South Carolina, 22-10. They were 5-5 in their last 10 regular season games. Then they lost in the first round of the SEC tournament. So that's pretty bad. They lost 5 of their last 7 games going into the tournament and then made the Final Four. Syracuse, if you go back, what year is it? 2016, they lost 5 of their last 6 games before the NCAA tournament, made it to the Final Four. All right, guys, here's my point. I don't think it's any time to panic. Are there concerns? Sure. But this idea that, oh, we're not playing our best. A lot of teams don't play their best, and then some sort of switch flips. You get the right matchups in the tournament, and you make a run. I don't think it's time to hit the panic button. Am I misinterpreting this? Am I looking at it through Pollyanna-ish eyes? Are you guys panicking a little, or do you agree? Where are you?
No, as a matter of fact, I think there's even less reason to panic. After you look at your numbers, you had 3 9-1 teams. 3 teams went 9-1. 2 of those, Loyola and Gonzaga, play in not very good conferences. So it was a lot easier for them to get to 9-1. So no, I think the numbers bear out that exactly what you're saying. I've got reasons to panic later, but for this segment, I think it's fine.
How much of a panic is it right now? I mean, I'm not saying you.
No, I think concerns is the very good way to put it. It's concerning.
Yeah, there are issues. Yeah. I'm not trying to whistle past a graveyard here, but at the same time, it's not this team's done, it's over. I knew it. I said they'd blow it in the 9th, and they are. Yeah. That kind of a thing. Ryan, your thoughts?
I totally agree. There's no reason to panic about this. I mean, you look at this team. Villanova is the one we've been citing recently on GoVols 24/7. We looked at their February schedule. They lost 3 games in February last year, and that's a team that lost 4 games all year. They went 5-3 in their final 8 regular season games. What did they do after that? They went straight through their conference tournament and won all 6 games in the NCAA tournament by double digits. I think fatigue, as we talked about earlier, is a factor. Sure, all that matters. And what else happens at the end of the regular season? You're playing teams that know you well in conference play, sometimes for the second time. Those teams you play in the NCAA tournament probably won't know you as well. You may steamroll those teams once you play them and throw them a kind of matchup problem they've never seen. So, yeah, many reasons I think not to worry, and those stats bear that.
Josh, are you in the panic mode?
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are way off. No, I totally agree, and I think those numbers show that it's a reminder that there's a lot of basketball still to be played moving forward. And it is what you do if Lamonte's 3, which I still don't think was a great shot right there, but if it goes in, a lot of the conversation today is this team, that clutch gene, it shows
gritty gutty, yeah.
It doesn't really change how the team played for the 45 minutes of basketball, right? So either way, we're still having the conversation about what Tennessee needs to do moving forward. with the result going one way or the other.
Yeah, first segment. I couldn't agree more. I opened it by saying they wasted a good effort yesterday. You didn't get the win, but it was a pretty good effort. And you're right. You hit that shot, totally different conversation. Nobody's freaking out. But you lose by 2 on the road in overtime. It's freak out time for a lot of folks.
Yeah, well, go back to the previous segment when you all were talking about tired legs. One of the things you get in basketball is you do get a reset. You get a little bit more time off going into tournament season. Now, you also have a little bit extra playing back to back to back, but you also get a few days
Then
off
you get
in
3
there.
or 4
So
more
maybe
days off, yeah, right.
maybe that gives you that opportunity to get past that.
All right, a little bit later, Tennessee, how they shape up against what looks to be the NCAA tournament field. We'll show you how they've done against what Joe Lunardi projects to be tournament teams. That's coming up. But next, we're going to discuss a little bit of football here. The Georgia game is moving from the front of the schedule to the back of Tennessee's football schedule. Is that a good thing for Tennessee? We'll discuss. Come on back.